All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and as you guys see from the title, we got some big news that you've seen. Zoran Mandani won the New York City mayor election. It was a close one, actually, looking at the results. I thought it was going to be more of a landslide, but it was like 50. He had 50, the other dude had 41, and then someone else had like 9. So it's like, but I mean, it was it was a lot closer than what I thought. But
he swept him. I don't want to hear him. Mandami money line all the way. Let's get it.
Mandani money line. He was always up though. So
yeah, he was always up.
But a lot of people have a lot of mixed opinions from what he's like politic wise, and then just him as a person wise. So we're gonna talk about both today, but I think the first one to approach first is that everyone's bigger fear is that he's a Muslim. So Quinn, being a Muslim yourself, like how do you feel about just everything that you've been seeing?
It humors me in the sense of that me knowing Islam, there's always going to be something that hates the culture and the religion in itself. So when people project their opinions about it, one just shows who they truly are, but two, we know that our intentions as Islamic people, we know that our intentions as a Muslim people, it's nothing but good. We don't really care about the hate. We don't really care about all the nonsense that comes with it. We know our intentions as far as to spread love and spread the wealth, not just at the higher top, but to everybody who is, of working class. So congratulate Mandami for the win.
Yep.
Let's get it. Alhamdulillah.
I think it fits America perfectly, honestly, because that's what America is based on: freedom of religion and freedom of anyone who comes. He's been living in New York since he was 7.
I didn't even know that.
So he's a New York citizen his whole life. So a lot of people.
Nah, I thought he was born in what's the name?
Well, I'm saying, like he was born somewhere else, but he lived in New York since he was 7.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so
I feel you.
like, you know what I'm saying?
He was born in what, Guy? I don't want to get.
No, it starts with a B. I forget.
All right, I gotta look it up.
But yeah, it starts with a B. But he lived in New York since he was 7. He's 34 right now. So it's like, he's
27 years.
He's a citizen of New York. So a lot of people like to use that one, that he's not even from New York. He's a foreigner. It's just disgusting because, I mean, in terms of what a normal American would be, they would rule him or she a New Yorker if they lived there for 20 plus years. So I think the Muslim fear is kind of crazy when it just not even like peeing around the bush. It's just every religion has that like example of like, oh yeah, this is bad. So like, just if you're like, oh, a Muslim's the mayor, but couldn't someone who's a Muslim that lives in America see Trump and be like, oh, a Christian? Well, he's Jewish now. Either way, no, like, right? No one does that. No one assumes that because they're Christian, they're gonna have bad intentions. So it's just like, you gotta like play the side both ways. You know what I mean? Because that's not fair. I hate when people just do that. And even like the stuff that that their fan base believes and that they've tweeted about. The one dude, that isn't here anymore, tweeted that Muslims did 9/11. Now one is running for New York mayor. You know what I mean? He tweeted that. So it's just like they assume that he's a terrorist because he's Muslim. It's just like,
it's a lot of propaganda.
That's the propaganda that we've been taught as kids, that brown people are bad. And it's been propaganda our whole lives that these people were dangerous to American society. And, it's like 9/11 at this point is not like, everyone knows it wasn't Muslims or brown people who did it at this point. Like, so it's like, the lies were always portrayed there at birth to be like, oh no, I hate these people, fear these people. And it's like, everyone's people. So I think him being a Muslim is like the stupidest. I think that's like just a low, there's at least talk about his policies, right? And that brings us into the second one of him being a Democratic socialist. And me being a socialist myself and also believing in that ideology, I believe that there's a lot of, it's really hard to get everybody to agree that like we need to be equal and help each other out, and like we should be in control of everything just as much as billionaires are. But like a lot of people don't agree with that mindset, and that's whatever. But he's trying to implement that into New York City, and he's a Democratic socialist as well. So it's still the rules of you vote, these people get put into these positions that run. You know what I mean? That's the Democratic side of it. And he's a socialist, as in like the wealth should be equally distributed, right? So it's just he wants to lay a 2% tax on corporations, an additional 2%, and billionaires an additional 1%. That's it, right?
Which could help out a lot.
And that's gonna help pay for, in his eyes, for food for kids. It's going to help pay for the buses, right? All the little stuff that they can be taken care of just with $7 million. They're going to try to do that. So his policies are great for New Yorkers and really just anybody who's poor and knows how the system works, that there's really not a lot of things you can do in some cases. You don't really have as much control as people like to think that these people do. Yeah. So I think it's all good that's been coming out of this man. I think that everything about him is great. He speaks very great. But people are just scared of being equal. So they hate communism. They hate socialism. And obviously, I'm not really a fan of communism either. I think that there's more flaws in that than there is in socialism as a just like practical terms. But it's really just equality. And like, even if socialism and communism don't work in a sense, because we can't get everybody to agree because everyone's selfish, it's okay. But just acknowledging that, like, oh, that mindset is just because people want people to be equal, that's not really a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's just a dream. It doesn't have to be like that, but, you know, you're not going to be mad at someone and be like, oh, they want equality. Like, you're not going to be mad at them. Everyone just thinks that it's like a handout. And I get that. But more people would benefit from socialism than it would, like, make people losers. You know what I mean? More people are poor now because of capitalism. So it's just, I don't know. And he cut Snap, he cut EBT, Trump. So it's like Zorhan's just another guy who's trying to get the bread for them. He's trying to help poor people in New York City, but I don't live in New York. I'm just a socialist. So it's like, what do we even care? You know what I mean? But I just see the Muslim shit and I see the socialism shit. I'm like, wait. Because it's just like, you guys are just being hateful for no reason. There's no facts. There's just your opinions and your prejudice and your bias. You know what I mean? And that stereotype shit got to go. So if you're going to assume that he's a terrorist because he's a Muslim, well, I'm going to assume that you're a Christian or Catholic that touches kids because, you know, they do that in church. So, but obviously not everyone's like that. So we can play the stereotype game. You know what I mean? But we don't do that because you don't assume that everybody's the same. You know what I mean? You meet people and get to hear from them and judge you judge them after you know who they are. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's just be fair. You know what I mean? You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. As far as like the politics side of what Mandami is trying to present to the table, inshallah he can get these policies implemented. Like you said, it is going to help out the general public as far as, you know, transportation, food, general, you know, help for everybody on an everyday living basis. The only scary thing is that when you come with these opportunities that you want to present, you're going to at least need some type of government funding.
No, you're right.
If these government funds don't...
And they don't want to fund him.
Exactly.
The billionaires don't want to fund Mandani. So if you guys seen a clip of him asking for money, actually, his campaign, because they're transitioning team to start implementing these things in society. There's a big-ass bee been flying around this whole time. Y'all saw us swatting at them. But he was asking for money, and everyone's like, oh, you see, this is what communism and socialism, you see, this is what they want. They just want your money. It's like, no big billionaires funded him. Trump said that he was going to deport him. A bunch of people do not want to work with Mandani, bro, because he doesn't like them. Quinn, he doesn't like the billionaires.
Yeah.
But I get it, bro.
I wouldn't even say that he doesn't like the billionaires.
He does. He just wants to work with them. He wants to work with them. You're right. He doesn't dislike them at all. They dislike him. They genuinely dislike him because they're going to have to pay more because of the stuff he's saying. And that's a fact. That is not an opinion.
When somebody puts their hand inside of your pocket and they want to take some, obviously you're going to feel some type of, different about it. But it comes down to a greed factor level. If the people who do actually, and when he was talking about everybody's going to leave New York and this and that, yada, yada, you know, whatever. Do whatever you feel like it's
pleasing. People believe that. People genuinely believe that, too, that all the billionaires are going to leave.
The focus on, talking about the people that don't really agree with it, there's specific words I want to say that I can't really say on this video, but whatever. But when you approach the side that is possible and you think of the ideas that, the idea, that it could be implemented, it's like, why wouldn't you want it?
It's just smaller things that could happen, just paying a little more. That's it.
When you go around, if you are a billionaire, and
just a little more,
walking on the everyday streets, wouldn't you like to see less homeless people?
Yeah, most of the
time.
Like
to see people fed? So that
who's feeding your pockets to these people, bro? And a lot of people are put in positions because they know people. So it's like people get lucky, bro, and then think that they're above the other people who weren't lucky, and that's the shit that like people don't get.
At the end of the day,
you know what I'm saying?
If they're gonna implement, if they want to leave New York, that's up to them. The money that's going to stay in New York is going to get changed at a certain point, and there's going to be implements or changes implemented that you're going to be able to see on an everyday basis.
Yep.
So whether people like it or not, get used to it. The same way Trump got elected, people like it or not, get used to it. So it's politics, is what people voted for, is what a lot of people fighted for, and it's just the change of time that we have in today.
And Trump, don't forget, Trump cut their taxes. Mandani's trying to make them pay. So always remember that when you're comparing the two. When we compare and contrast, think about what they're what they're saying too. But in terms of the socialism shit, I get it. If they don't get it and they're mad, that's a debate. That's what I say before. We could debate that. But the Muslim shit, I'm like, nah, we're not doing any of that. Yeah, that's not a debate. The whole him being a Muslim thing is like, we're not debating that.
You can't.
Y'all are gonna comment, and it's just like, nah, bro. Just before you type the comment, just think. Am I being like prejudiced and stupid right now?
They're not gonna think that, AJ.
I know. They're just comment it. They're just gonna comment it. I know. Right, but just try to think.
You gotta pay them to take common sense at this end of the day.
You're right. Just try to think about it.
Kick them in the throat or something. With them, man. Like, I'm tired of listening to these people talk about racism. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, we can talk about the policies for sure, but it's like the other stuff. It's like, nah, we're not doing that. Like
I don't even have the time or energy to sit down and talk about y'all turbans and this and that. Shut up, please.
Talking about Sharia law. I'm like, bro, you really come on. You really think he's gonna come on, bro? The racism's showing again. It's showing again.
Come on, bro.
Let's go.
Trump. Y'all got who y'all voted for. Y'all see the changes that's being hurt. Y'all see the pockets or our money leaving the economy, flooding out the gates, and y'all see a mayor trying to stop that.
Yeah.
He said the first place I'm going is to, where'd he go? Puerto Rico? He didn't even go to Israel. He went to Puerto Rico to see how they live because he wanted to actually connect, with the residents of the streets in New York. So it's simple. If you can't understand the fact that you are equal to the person next to you, go ahead, go lock yourself in the closet and go wait till you starve some.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that.
You really gotta isolate yourself. That's a good idea. Quinn's on to something. You really gotta isolate yourself because you're a menace to society, and you just gotta spend time alone and think. You know what I mean?
If y'all want to go huddle up and talk in a group, go ahead, do that. If y'all want to spread hate, whatever.
They still have their group chats.
Have y'all group chat. We know we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. We do not care. I cannot express this enough.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to curse, but we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you can have beliefs, but when you're just talking about because the stuff that you always preaching about, it only just leads to violence. When you're talking about this person's violent because of who they are, it's only gonna lead to violence. So we just gotta cut it out right now.
If we're speaking of facts, then let's bring up the president. And until we bring up the president, I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear shit about nothing.
Talk about everybody. Let's do it. We and Quinn like talking about everybody. Lay everybody in name on the table.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. One by one. You're right.
Yep, we're going one by one.
Line it up, please. For all that arguing about this terrorist stuff, man, y'all got it. Put it on your plates and eat it. Shove it up your ass.